Okay, so we're going to finish where we left off in class. We're going to start with example number 4 on page 3 of 8.2 notes. In example 4 it says, find the shorter side of a golden rectangle whose long side is 19. So let's set up a proportion. We're going to do long side over short side. Okay. It tells us that the long side is 19 centimeters. We also know that the ratio is 1.618 to 1. So our proportion is going to be 1.618 over 1 equals the long side 19 over x, because we're trying to find the shorter side. When you cross multiply, excuse me, you get 1.618 x equals 19. Doing a little division on your calculators, divide 19 by 1.618. You get x to be 11 point, oh, it's a long one. Let's round to 3 decimal places, so 743. So your shorter side is 11.743 centimeters. Okay? We did number 5 in class. If you didn't write down the notes, I think you guys all kind of did, but if you didn't write down the notes, they're there. I'll move it up so you can see the bottom a little bit. That's the amount of work you needed to show for that one. Okay, let's flip to the next page. Okay, page 4. Number 6 says that we want to find x and y given that the parallelograms are similar. So let's set it up so we have a left one and a right one. Let's go left over right. We want to find x and y. Let's start with x. So we know that we can do left over right, so 18 over 12. We know that we can set that up for sure. Those are matching sides. Okay? And then we need to find x. So bottom over bottom, left over right, so 22 over x plus 4. Excuse me. Gentlemen, I'm recording. Can you please be quiet? Thank you. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we have 18 over 12 equals 22 over x plus 4. 18 over 12 does reduce. You can divide by, 6. You get 3 over 2. So when you cross multiply, because we reduce those numbers, it's going to make our multiplication here a little bit easier. So if you're multiplying this way, top left, bottom right, you get 3 times the quantity x plus 4 equals 2 times 22, 44. Distribute your 3. You get 3x plus 12 equals 44. Now we're just doing straight algebra where we need to solve for x. First thing you need to do is subtract your 12. 44 minus 12 is 32. 3x equals 32. Divide by 3. It comes out to be, if we were to divide 32 divided by 3, we end up with a nasty decimal. So when you write this, you can write it one of two ways, or a couple ways really. We can say 32 over 3, or if you want to change it to a mixed number, you can say 10 and 2/3. You may not say 10.667. Remember, we don't like, you can write as decimals if they come out nice, but if they don't come out nice, they're non-terminating decimals. You need to leave them either as an improper fraction or a mixed number. Okay, so that's x. That's that guy right there. We need to go back and find y. Y is an angle measure. So let's think about what we remember from our parallelograms, the properties of parallelograms. You know that this angle here and that angle there have to be congruent because they are similar parallelograms. So let's move that 60 over here to the top right of that right-hand triangle, or parallelogram rather. Okay, now we need to think about the properties here. These two consecutive angles are supplementary, so meaning they add to 180. So if this one's 60, we know this one has to be 180 minus 60, which is 120. So y is 120 degrees. Okay? In number 7, it tells us triangle SRI is similar to triangle SPN. We want to solve for x. First thing we need to do with these, because they're overlapping triangles, this is really important, you need to separate. Whenever you have overlapping triangles like this diagram in number 7, you need to separate them. I'm going to label them as little triangle and big triangle. Okay, the little triangle, try to keep it the same orientation, so we've got kind of a longer side over here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just estimate. There's my little triangle. Here's my bigger triangle. Clearly not quite the same size, but that's alright. In the little triangle, this triangle SNP, it looks like this side here on the right is x, and the bottom is 13. In the big triangle, SIR, this whole right-hand side is 18, and the whole bottom of the big triangle is 26. Okay, now we need to solve for x. So let's do right side over bottom. I'm going to show you another way to do it in just a second. But let's start with right over bottom. So right side over bottom, x over 13 equals right side over bottom, 18 over 26. Again, we can do some reducing. Multiplying 18 times 13 is no fun, so let's use smaller numbers. Divide, or reduce rather, 18 over 26. You're going to divide by 2, you get 9 over 13. Makes it a little bit easier when you're multiplying. Here you get 13x equals 9 times 13. That is 117, I believe. Divide both sides by 13, you get x is 9. Okay, there's one way. If you want to do it a different way, the other way that I see that we could do this, we'll just write it in, we could do little over big. Okay, so little triangle over big triangle. I'm going to start with the right hand side. So x over 18 equals little over big again, so equals 13 over 26. Okay, again, do some reducing. 13 over 26 is really 1 over 2. You get 2x equals 18. I'm going to kind of squeeze it in the bottom because we already know the answer. Divide by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So regardless of the way that you choose, you can go right over bottom in each triangle to get your proportion, or you could do little over big. It does not matter as long as whichever way you choose, you stick with that same pattern. Okay, either way you end up with 9 for x. Okay, a couple more here. Really just one problem, 3 parts. Alright, number 8 says, a company logo is a square with 12 centimeter sides. Find the angle measures and side lengths if it is A, reduced by 50%, B, reduced by 30%, and C, reduced to 45%. So we need to talk about these things. First of all, we know it's a square. So we know that in a square, all 4 angles are right angles, so they're all 90 degrees. All angles equal 90 degrees. Okay. So we know that we're going to have these similar squares here. When it says it's reduced by 90%, or I'm sorry, 50%, that means that we're making our new square is only half the size, right? So if we had half the size, is 12 centimeters, that's the side lengths. Half those sides are 6. So does that make sense, you guys? We're doing 12 centimeters first, we reduce it by half, or 50%. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. My homeroom is very chatty today, even though I've asked them to be quiet, so I apologize if there's any background noise. I'm giving them the evil eye currently. I don't think they even realize that I'm giving them the evil eye. Hope you guys get a kick out of this when you listen to it later, because I'm not really finding it very funny at the moment. Okay. B says reduced by 30%. Again, all the angles, because it's a square, are 90 degrees. Okay, we know that they're going to be similar, so all the angles are going to be the same. When it says it's reduced by 30%, we need to think about the fact that we had 100% to begin with, and then we're taking away 30%. So when we set up our proportion here, and this one it's not quite as easy as A, because reducing by 50 is pretty straightforward. You know that it's half, right? Here it's not so straightforward, because we're going to have 70% left over. So let's set up a proportion. Our original over new. Okay? The original square had 12 centimeter sides. We don't know the length of the new sides. We have to figure that out. We do know that the original was 100% of the figure. When it says it's reduced by, it means that we're going to take away 30% from the original. So 100 minus 30. 100 minus 30 is 70%. Okay. So we want to reduce 100 over 70. We can divide out a 10 right away. Do your cross multiplication. You get 10x equals 12 times 7 now, which gives us, 84, I believe. Okay, it doesn't come out nice, and that's okay. When you divide by 10, when you're dividing by 10, you're just going to move the decimal place 1 to the left. So 84 divided by 10 is 8.4, and it's centimeters. So when we say that the square, that company logo, is reduced by 30%, it means that it's going to be 70% of the size, which makes its side length, the new side length, 8.4 centimeters. Okay? Part C is different than part B and part A, actually, in that now it's saying we're reducing 2. So that little word 2 makes a difference between those two. Okay, reduced by means that you're taking away that 30%. Okay, reduced to means that you actually have that 45%. So again, let's do original over new, which means that we have 12 for the original side lengths over our x, because we're still trying to find the new side length. Okay, and then now we knew it was 100% to begin with in the original, and now we know the new side length, or the new percentage, is 45. It's saying it's reducing it to that certain percent. Okay? From this point, does anything go into 100 that also goes into 45? Well, we know that 5 goes into 45. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Okay, at that point there's nothing that goes in. 3 doesn't go into 20, 9 doesn't go into 20, so now we can do our cross multiplication. Okay, so you do 20 times x, you get 20x. 12 times 9 is, I think, 108, right? mental math is getting better and better, you guys. Okay, and then now divide by 20. So 108 divided by 20 gives us x equaling 5.4 centimeters. Okay, so in this one, 5.4, this one 8.4, and then the first one is just a straight 6. Reducing again by 50% is real easy. You can just divide by 2. Whenever it reduces by a different amount or reduces to a different amount, you have to set up their proportion and then go from there. Okay? Alright. So that's all we have for today. You do need to, once you finish the notes, make sure you're doing 8.2 day 2 homework. And then tomorrow we will check those in. Okay? Alright. Just a little reminder also, Mrs. Walker has an evening review tonight in E227 from 6 to 8. Okay?